Namaste. I am Atulya Narayan and he is my friend Rishabh Prakash. We will be presenting you an analysis of the state of real estate in India, its impact and the underlying opportunities, that is actionable insights. My friend Rishabh Prakash shall take you forward.
The current state of real estate provides a challenging scenario for Tata Steel. With almost 15% of its output sold to the housing sector, which roughly forms 80% of the real estate sector, a slump in the real estate has proved to be one of the major reasons for the declining profit margin. Price is one of the major drivers of real estate. The market forces of demand and supply are prime determinants of price. Hence, it is important for us to understand the factors affecting the demand and the supply of real estate. Past researches have suggested that more than 30% of the real estate is funded by the black economy. Disincentivizing the black economy through Benami Transactions Bill has reduced the transaction volumes drastically. Since the information regarding slump in real estate is freely available, most investors are willing to wait for further price correction before they start investing again. Certain affordability issues also put India at a disadvantage compared to its Asian peers. Traditionally, it has been seen that lending to real estate sector has been higher than other sectors. However, this has changed over the past year. The banking sector has cut off its funding taps to real estate. Lack of sales have led to a vicious cycle for the developers, resulting in liquidity crunches and hence less new launches. It was also seen that under the last UPA regime, a high proportion of subsidies were pilfered and invested in gold and real estate. However, NDA moved these subsidies to direct benefit transfer scheme. The health of developers is weak. Most developers face high risks of either defaulting their payments or are getting the payment cycles extended. The profit margins and the return on assets are seeing a decreasing trend. With banks cutting off their funding taps to real estate, PE investors have proved to be a major source of funding. However, they are demanding as high as 20 to 25% returns on their investments. All this and high construction costs have worsened the condition for the developers. Generalizing the economic condition of a sector on sub-level markets does not provide a fair picture. Hence, we forayed into understanding and analyzing some of the micro markets we feel that would generate high demands for steel in the coming years. In order to project these micro markets, a rating scale of 5 has been used, of which a weightage of 2 is given to the reforms in real estates, another 2 is given to the graph pertaining to new launches and absorptions in the real estate residential sector, and 0.5 each is given to office markets and prices in residential real estate. The reasons behind such weightage have been stated in the exhibits. Another general trend that is observed is that in most micro markets, the price of ready to move in properties command a premium over UC properties. This is primarily because customer confidence in UC properties is low. This trend is contrary to a general trend that is observed in most developing nations, where UC command a premium over RM properties. The reason being, UC properties provide an option to enter into projects at various stages of construction, which has lower entry cost and gives flexibility to book profit and exit an investment. Ahmedabad is included in the first list of smart cities. The prices in the residential market have been going up and the unsold inventory is reducing. Bengaluru's office market is doing very well. The new completions and absorptions have been increasing, while the residential market has not seen a decline due to certain innovative measures used by the developers to trigger sales. Chennai has been included under the Amrut scheme. A recent flood has destroyed the infrastructure and led to relocation of these victims in new buildings. There has been a sudden spike in the absorption launch ratio in both the office as well as residential markets, which should help revive this sector. Delhi NCR is the weakest market in our list, the only positive and highlight being the emergence of Samajwadi Awas Yojana, which aims to offer 3 lakh affordable houses. An inventory overhang of about 2 to 3 years is a major negative. The MMR is one of the weaker markets in our study, a major highlight of this market being the recent signing of India's largest space deal with TCS, which plans to accommodate 30,000 employees. The residential markets are suffering from unrealistically high prices, which is affecting the demand. Two major real estate boosts were witnessed in Hyderabad. One of them was the allocation of funds for 49,600 houses under Housing for All scheme, and two was the announcement of land survey which will clear land titles, boosting the customer sentiment. The office and the residential markets are still in the recovery stage. On one hand, Kolkata is boosted by a number of foreign investments, while on the other hand, in the residential sector, the widening gap between the UC and RM properties suggests the unwillingness of customers to purchase UC properties even at a lower rate. This is a major source of concern for the developers. Last but not the least, Pune is the best among the lot. It is included in the first list of 20 smart cities. Furthermore, new infrastructure projects such as metro rail and ring road projects will further boost real estate. Both office and residential markets are recovering very well. The purpose of city-wise analysis is to analyze certain markets where there are high probabilities of growth in medium to long term. Such markets will present an opportunity for Tata Steel to boost the sales of its products and services. REITs is a modern source of funding for the developers through securities market. However, there were certain functionality issues after its legislation. A major such issue was addressed in Budget 2016, which exempted the levy of dividend distribution tax on the amount of dividend paid by a special purpose vehicle to a REIT. The budget had also given a huge boost to the affordable housing sector. Bills such as the Real Estate Bill 2016 intends to increase transparency in this sector. This will help improve the customer sentiment and will help promote FDI in the sector. Furthermore, the strict norms adopted against the developers will help prevent delays in projects. This in turn would result in Tata Steel sales forecasts being more reliable, thereby decreasing the inventory costs.
Now, let's analyze the consumer behavior.
The bargaining power of the buyer has increased due to the availability of options. Our primary survey suggests the people are still expecting price cuts in the short term. An interesting fact to be noticed was that end-user driven sales was still increasing at a CAGR of 20 to 22%, and with growing population, it will be expected to increase further.
To understand the consumer behavior better, we have attempted to analyze the interplay of all the factors which are directly or indirectly related to real estate. Based on the primary and secondary survey, we tried to deduce the impact of each factor on real estate, both in short term as well as medium term. Parameters such as GDP per capita, urbanization, and total population growth are found significantly correlated with the performance of real estate. So, the parameters of economic health of customers such as growing per capita income and the parameters of favorable demographics such as growing urban population, increasing working class population, etc. are leading the real estate towards positive performance, both in short run as well as in long term. This is evident as end user driven sales is increasing at 20 to 22% CAGR. Let's look at some other factors. Political and legal scenario is negatively affecting real estate sector in short run. Our RBI governor, finance minister publicly said that realtors should reduce the price. Such factors are hurting the investors' sentiment from this market. Also, the huge pileup of unsold inventory and poor financial condition of realtors negatively affect customers' sentiment, as customer thinks prices will go down because of distressed selling by realtors. Talking about regulations like Benami Bill and Real Estate Bill are adding to the problems for developers who are already on the verge of bankruptcy. So, all in all, for short term, that is 1 to 2 years, investor demand will remain poor and end user driven demand will keep on increasing. If we look for medium term, These negative factors, which are presently villain for real estate, will act as a hero for the sector, giving very positive outlook to the sector. Now, we will analyze a few factors which will strongly impact the real estate sector of India, and we would also reduce their impact on Tata Steel. Apart from this, government itself is taking various initiatives which will emerge as golden opportunities for this sector. Huge investments will go in redevelopment of existing real estate under smart city initiatives and under various other initiatives like Hriday scheme and Prasad scheme. There is a clear focus on affordable housing as well. Various developers are also coming up with their large projects such as DLF Value Homes, Shobha Value Homes, Provankara Value Homes, even Tata Housing Value Homes. For steel companies, we can say they should collaborate with structural engineers to introduce specialized categories of steel for this segment.
Readybuild offers two services, development of BBS and cut and bend services. Along with that, it also provides couplers. In our primary survey, we had a talk to a number of engineers of various construction companies. They gave us some interesting insights. First, effective development of BBS is extremely difficult, without which there is huge wastage. An engineer at L&T suggested that it took them 5 to 7 years to understand how to properly develop a BBS. Most of the small and medium construction companies do not have the in-house facility and the ability to develop BBS. As Tatas, our core competency is providing quality services. Even after that, there are variances between actual size required and the size of threaded rebar, so it becomes difficult to fit the coupler in the designated rebar. Therefore, our suggestion is that Tata should provide rebar threading services at client site. The only cost involved is that of acquiring extra machines that are needed to be put on client site and an extra operator cost. Through this, we will have long-term lasting relationships with the construction and real estate companies, which will in turn boost sales of all our products and services. The star product of Tata Tiscon is rebars. Because of its high quality, it is priced high in the market. Its standard length is 12 meters. On having a talk with the contractors, the average length of rebars required in IHB category is 3 meters approximately. A twisted 12-meter rebar requires extra labor costs to straighten it and then cut in two halves. Therefore, the contractors suggested that it would be of some convenience to the contractors if Tata could supply 6-meter rebars in the market. One of the contractors even suggested the fact that the rebars used in columns during the foundation phase are exactly 6 meters in length. Further benefits to the buyers would include reduced labor cost, easy transportation service, and reduced perceived price. Steel and Style provides a wide variety of furniture for office and residential markets. However, on having a talk with the distributor at Guwahati, we found that chairs were a missing link in the existing product portfolio. With their complete range of products, Godrej provides one-stop solution in an institution like ours, IIM Shillong, and provides all the furniture our institution needs. For example, tables, chairs, beds, almirah, etc. We would suggest that Tata Steel and Style to add these missing links to their existing product portfolio and leverage upon the opportunity of providing bundled products to the institutions. We would also suggest Tata Steel to increase their geographical reach to certain western and southern parts of India based on an analysis done earlier. These markets are highlighted in yellow. Godrej seems to be a major challenge for markets in the south, where Godrej is positioned in synonymity with furniture. Nest-in solution is a complete building solution. The Nest-in is a light gauge steel frame construction solution that can act as a temporary structure, and it can be moved from one location to another location when needed at a much reduced cost. This is already put in use as houses, medical centers, community centers, shops, labor hutments, guard hut, anganwadi, site office, cafeteria, etc. On our primary survey with labor contractors, we found that the workers are required to stay at the construction site itself a number of times, for which labor colonies are constructed by the clients. Providing them with good quality residence is often a challenge and it requires huge cost. To avoid this, companies generally choose to build substandard colonies, as we can see in the figure. To make matters worse, the temperature in these hutments is extreme. Hence, some contractors avoid taking up such contracts as their workforce disapprove to live in such conditions. In such a scenario, it adds to the cost of the client. Thus, our suggestion is that Neston should develop special products to resolve such issues. Apart from providing temporary lab hutman services, Neston can also provide them temporary on-site offices which are generally occupied by officials of the company. After the completion of the particular project, we can further expand our services to their projects using the same materials. Neston could also offer these services on lease because it will help reduce the client's cost and the initial fixed cost. We believe this offering is scalable in all Tier 1 and Tier 2 cities with a single standard product.
Having analyzed how can Tata Steel augment its existing products, services and solutions vertical, we would now recommend Tata Steel to develop a new product. The size of formwork market in India is more than 2,500 crores and it is expected to grow at 15% per year. So the industry is clearly in expansionist mode. Presently, large number of small formwork providers are present in India, but there are some problems in their offerings. Their offering is first, unsafe, especially for high-rise buildings. Second, requires more labor. Third, not capable of bearing massive loads. Along with that, greater emphasis on safety, quality and sustainability would result in high demand of modern formwork systems. A lot of different kind of formworks can be developed. Talking with the industry insiders, we could come up with three prospective products that Tata Steel shall develop. First, heavy duty tower systems. Second, light duty or collapsible tube prop. Third, H-beam. Heavy duty tower system is in huge demand from medium to large scale construction companies. Many construction companies lose contracts for not having this formwork. To cite an example, an engineer at L&T told us that they got Delhi 1 project solely because other companies didn't have the required formwork. A 3.5 meter thick concrete slab was to be supported in that project. Majority of the components of this formwork are developed using only steel. Along with this, we found that H-beams are in huge demand. Presently, they are developed using wood or aluminium. It would be good if we can develop H-beams with a lightweight alloy of steel. Coming to the third prospective product, light duty formworks or collapsible tube prop are basically necessary for all the high-rise real estate projects. As an alternate to it, majority of the projects deploy substandard products which not only require high labor costs but more importantly are unsafe. This proposed product can be a standard offering for all the real estate construction companies.
Through a number of primary surveys we conducted, we were able to gather these insights. These insights are mainly aimed at making the product more customer centric. We hope that these reforms are useful for the Tata Steel and can help them serve their prospective customers better.
We sincerely thanks the Ingenious team and our mentor Mr. Amit Ranjan.